Around about 3 years ago, our social care staff, through our Young People's Network, very much identified that there was a lack of information and resources in relation to relationships and sex for young people with cancer. It was an area that they were identifying with young people. They weren't always sure how to address themselves, and they wanted some sort of resource to back them up. So subsequent to that, we put out an online survey to young people to get their point of view on it. And we had 125 responses in around about 3 weeks, I think. Normally when we do these sort of online surveys, we get sort of 10, 12, 14 responses. So it was a very significant number in terms of the response rate and the issues that they were raising and how much they wanted to see things addressed. But as many questions that they had, they felt it very difficult to speak to a doctor or a nurse about sex and relationships, and they weren't really getting the answers that they wanted. So as a response to that, we decided that we should try an online resource tool that would be available for young people to use, but also that would be accessible for healthcare and social care professionals, so that they could use that as a tool to help support young people in their line of work. So we worked with a young adult writer and columnist, Matt Whyman, who an agony uncle, I think he's referred to in some areas, in terms of setting the tone of how we should relate that information to young people. And so the online resource is a combination of text and video content. Some of the video content is from Matt Whyman speaking about relationships for young people. Some of the video content is of young people themselves speaking about how cancer impacted on their relationship and on their sex lives. There's some good video clips of couples themselves talking about that. And there's also some video content from a gynecology nurse specialist talking about when sex is painful, particularly for women, when penetrative sex is painful, talking about those sort of issues, talking about a lot of the issues that young people were asking. Why should we use barrier contraception, that sort of thing? What should I do when it's painful? Why am I bleeding after sex or whatever? And so there's a whole range of content and almost a menu that young people can access. Further to that, we've got an online community at CLIC Sargent for young people with cancer, that 16 to 24 age range. And we wanted to kind of ally both those areas up. And so we've been doing Ask the Expert sessions as live online opportunities for young people to link in with Matt Whyman normally. Sometimes we've used other healthcare professionals as well, so that they can have a 2-hour session online where they're able to ask him questions, get immediate responses. And then the online community, it would appear that the young people are using that for peer support after those meetings as well. So although our poster talks about the first of those meetings, we've had about 6 Ask the Expert sessions since, and I think we're looking at expanding it, so instead of doing it on a sort of 2-hour basis, we'll actually have kind of a week at a time with just a 2-hour live bit, but more of a week lead up to it for young people to be able to ask specific questions and instigate discussions.